This is Tales and Whispers, where every story is felt, not just heard.
Have you ever thought about what happens when a brilliant career is supposed to just end? We're about to dive into a story that completely flips our whole idea of age, retirement, and what it means to leave a legacy. This is the incredible story of Professor John Goodenough, and trust me, it might just change how you see the finish line. Okay, to really understand just how wild this story is, we need to start with a single number. A number that, when you see it next to a Nobel Prize, honestly, it looks like a typo. 96. That's how old Professor John Goodenough was when he won the 2019 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. And look, this wasn't some kind of honorary award for work he'd done decades ago. No, this was for an invention that literally powers the modern world we're all living in right now. That's right. The smartphone in your pocket, the laptop you work on, the electric cars you see on the street, all of them run on the technology that he helped pioneer. It is the invention that fuels our daily lives. But here's the crazy part. This history-making moment, this achievement that affects all of us, it almost never happened. So why? Why did this world-changing breakthrough almost get missed? Well, the answer takes us back a few decades, and it all comes down to a rule that was meant to end his career for good. So get this, Professor Goodenough was forced out of his prestigious job at Oxford University. It wasn't because his work was slowing down or he was running out of ideas. Not at all. It was simply because he hit a number, 65, the university's mandatory retirement age. And this put him at a huge fork in the road. Oxford's policy was crystal clear. You turn 65, you're out. But across the Atlantic, the University of Texas had a completely different philosophy. They cared more about a scientist's mind than their birth date. It was a choice between two totally different ways of looking at human potential. So, facing a door slamming shut in one country, Professor Goodenough decided to find a new door in another. He wasn't ready to stop, and lucky for all of us, there was a place that wasn't about to make him. You know, this wasn't just him changing jobs. It was a move that basically set his potential free. He found an environment that looked at him and saw a brilliant, seasoned mind, not an employee who was past his so-called expiration date. And it was right here, in this brand new chapter, that he would do the work that would change everything.
And this is where his unbelievable second act begins. Just think about this timeline. At 65, he's basically told his career is over. But what happens next? He embarks on this new journey in America, which leads to more than 3 decades of incredible work, culminating in a Nobel Prize at 96. He kept on innovating right until he passed away at 100. His greatest contribution to the world came long after society told him his time was.
So what's the big takeaway here? What does the life of John Goodenough really teach us about things like innovation, our own potential, and all these arbitrary rules we sometimes live by?
Well, he really said it best himself. He said that mandatory retirement is foolish and there is no specific age for creativity and contribution. And his entire life after 65 is just the ultimate undeniable proof of that idea. He didn't just say it, he lived it and showed the entire world that genius has no deadline.
When you boil it all down, that's the simple, powerful truth of his story. In a world that can be so obsessed with age, his legacy is this timeless reminder that our passion and our ability to contribute, well, they just don't have an expiration date. And that leaves all of us with one final, really important question to think about. If John Goodenough had just accepted that forced retirement, the world we live in today might be a very different place. So it really makes you wonder, how many other world-changing ideas are we losing out on, all because of a number?